Fancy little who? Hey, baby girl. I tried to get us out of this. I thought I was gonna have me a night off, but it's okay though. It worked out, I guess. What we want to listen to tonight? Any suggestions? Wants to do some country tonight? I don't do country very often, do I? So, how's my babies doing? Everybody doing okay? My day. Hey, baby Reese. What you doing, Reese? Are you Nene big boy? Are you Nene's big boy? Mwah! Mwah! I love you. Hello, Reese. Which part? Hey, Ori. What's up, Mama? Just for the record, on the way home, I got a really sad idea, Vincy. I'm going to adopt Nina. She's so pitiful. Just going to adopt her. But then I can tell her what to do. Just boss her around then. No. Don't give him a hug for her. He don't love her like he does me. He loves his Nene. I gotta get this part right here cut. I'll start flat ironing at one. One more minute. I'm gonna start reading. I can tell the rest of them. Just a little bit closer. Oh, I know she won't listen. Hard-headed Puerto Rican bitch. Hey, 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 hey. What's going on, Mrs. Taylor? A little bit of everything. Well, I try not to let that happen if I can help it. Oh, so is this a pseudonym? I don't know how to pronounce the last name. I'm horrible with names. People keep giving me names I can't pronounce. Dori Pulitano? Pulitano? Yep, everybody says it's different. Some won't even listen. They won't even come on here. Right. I did it right, Betsy. I did it right. Alrighty. Y'all ready to get started? It's been 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm good old Irish, Cherokee Irish girl with some German and some, I can't speak German either, but European stuff. I can't pronounce half of the names. But I have simple names like Moore and Miller and Gray in my family, so, you know, Riley. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, y'all ready? I know the cover is gorgeous. Gorgeous. All righty. Just a second here. Let's get the sickles. Thought I had my ship going. Okay. Bad Union, the Winston Brothers, Book 1. Prologue. Jake. Where did I get Jake? Drake. Sounds all too familiar. Feel the hallway outside my sounds all too familiar. Feel the hallway outside my door. The screams from my mother's lips pierce my chest in a way that leaves me breathless. I want to help her. Want to stop the madness that's happening. But what can I do? I'm only a child that shouldn't have to face such horrific events. Yet here I am, lying beneath my bed, praying my brothers are hidden somewhere safe. I can't bear the thought of them enduring any more violence. Gage is the oldest and usually takes the brunt of my father's rage. A rage that's left us all battered and broken. But I don't know how much more he can take, or any of us for that matter. A perfect family to the outside world, but behind doors, we are dark and dangerous. No amount of money will ever make us whole. Being rich doesn't mean shit when your father's an abusive prick. Mom? Gage's voice echoes outside my door in the hallway, and my stomach clenches. Knowing he's out there makes me bristle beneath my shelter. Gage, baby. My mother sounds so helpless. Come back to your room. Please, Mom, come with me. We can lock the door. Boy, the gruff sound of my father cuts him off. Mind your damn business and get the fuck out of mine. This is between me and your mother. No, you're being a bully. Why don't you just leave? The unmistakable sound of flesh being struck permeates my ears. My eyes squeeze shut in disgust. What the hell? Gage! My mother gasped. Frank, stop it. He's your son, for Christ's sake. You'll learn not to interfere in grown-up matters, won't you, boy? A scuffling noise has me straining to hear. My mother grunts and screams just before a loud thud has me crawling out from my hiding spot. I glance at the door, hesitant to open it and step out. My bathroom door opens to reveal a scared and confused Roland. He's the youngest of us Winston boys and doesn't fully understand the dynamics of our family. Thankfully, Dad leaves Roland alone. It's a small blessing, though he uses me or Gage as his punching bag instead when he isn't beating our mother. Hey, buddy. I move toward him and place my hand on his shoulder. Did the yelling wake you? Yeah. Why is Dad yelling at Gage? I don't know. Come on, let's get in the bed. I turn on my radio, trying to drown out the sounds in the hall. Roland and I climb onto my mattress and pull the covers around our bodies. At 12 years old, I feel more like his parental figure than his brother. Roland was a late surprise to our family, and Dad was less than pleased. With 8 years between us, Roland relies on being Gage for everything. Gage and I grew up fast when he came into the world. We do everything we can to help our mom keep him happy. Because if he isn't happy, Dad isn't happy. And that means Mom is going to pay. The sound of screaming over the music has me jerking upright in bed. Gage is carrying on about something to do with our mother, making my gut coil. My curiosity drives me out of the bed to see. Stay here. I ease out from under the covers and move toward the door. Opening it slowly, I peek around the corner of the door frame. Gage? Gage's eyes widen when he sees me standing in the open. Go back to your room, Drake. Lock the door and don't come out for any reason. Do you understand me? I hear the words he's saying, but my eyes are locked on the still form of our mother. She's bent in a crooked position against the wall, blood oozing from a massive gash in her head. Mom, I call out, my voice cracking as my bottom lip trembles just enough to affect the tone of my voice. Kate! I look at my older brother before flicking my eyes to her lifeless body again. Drake! His voice warns me to move, but I can't. I'm frozen in fear. This is your fault, Gage. You did this. Our father moves into the hallway, a gun in his hand. You killed your mother. No, you did that. You're a fucking monster. I'm your father. He raises his voice rises as he lurches toward Gage. I'll kill you for this. I watch in horror as they wrestle with the gun. At 17, Gage is filled out nicely. My father is no match for him anymore, and Gage is angry. He's done standing idly by. Fuck you! Gage cries out, wrenching the gun from his hand as they fall to the floor. A loud blast echoes through the narrow hallway, making me jump. The distinct scent of burning material and a metallic odor fills the space, assaulting my gut as I run toward my brother. Gage! I kneel on the carpet, my knees burrowing into something wet and sticky. Oh, God, please don't be dead. Drake! Gage turns his head toward me as he rolls to his knees, his eyes wide with shock. Call 911. I'm rooted to the spot and able to move. My father is lying on his back, eyes wide and moving. The hollowness of his gaze tells me he's gone. He's dead, I mutter, my voice barely a whisper. Dad's dead. Drake! Gage calls my name again. 911. I thought. I pushed to my feet and continued to stare at the man I called my father. I should feel sadness, but all I feel is relief. I know, buddy. I know, but Mom needs help, so go call 911. Those words spur me into action. My feet carry me toward Gage's room, where I retrieve his cell phone and press the emergency button. 911, where is your emergency? My father's been shot and my mom is hurt. Can you send the police and an ambulance? I give the operator the address and stay on the phone with her as I walk back out to the hallway. Gage is bent over my mom doing CPR, nearly causing me to drop the phone. Tell them she's not breathing. Tears stream down his face as he continues to press on her chest. Tell them, he screams. I do my best to relay the information, but the intake of breath behind me forces me to turn around. Roland is standing with his mouth open, watching the horrific scene unfold. Shit, I murmur. Roland, go back to your room. Mom? Dad? He blinks, the confusion marring his perfect little face. Ma'am, I spoke to the operator. I need to take my little brother into his room. Can you tell the officers the door is unlocked and to come upstairs? My brother has kicked the gun away from them and is still doing CPR on my mom. How about you keep me on speaker? I nod, even though she can't see me, and press the speaker button before shoving the phone into my pocket. Come on, buddy. I grip Roland's shoulders and guide him into my room. Let's wait in here, okay? Are they dead? Roland crawls onto the bed and draws his knees to his chest. I don't know. But even as I speak the words, I know everything is about to change. And when the flashing lights illuminate the dark sky, our world is irrevocably altered. Wait here. I glance at my baby brother and open the bedroom door. A flurry of activity fills the tiny corridor as medics assess my parents. The white cloth covering my father tells me what I already know. The monster is dead. The medics load my mother's lifeless body onto the stretcher and rush from the house. What I'm not prepared for is the sight of my brother in handcuffs. Hey! I scream, rushing toward him. Where are you taking him? It's standard procedure, son. In fact, the surly man nods toward his partner. They all need to be brought in. You're arresting him? Drake. Gage's calm voice snaps my attention back to him. Yeah, Roland, it's going to be okay, but you need to be there for him. Gage, what's going on? What's going to happen now? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I fetch Roland from my room and hold his hand in mine as we walk down the stairs to the waiting patrol car. The uniformed officer helps us inside the back seat and closes the door. The metal slamming is like a coffin sealing our fate inside. Drake, Roland looks up at my face. Who's going to take care of us now? Are they going to take us away? No, buddy. No one is ever going to split us up. Not forever, anyway. Do you hear me? It's us now. You, me, and Gage. As the car pulls away from our home, I can't silence the voices in my head telling me I just lied to my little brother. My parents were supposed to love us, but for years, all we got was violence and heartbreak. And if that's what love does to someone, I wanted nothing to do with it. From this moment forward, my brothers would be the only people I loved, because letting someone in meant taking a risk, and opening yourself up to someone else meant experiencing something I'd rather not. Heartbreak. Chapter 1. Drake, 20 years later. I listen as the judge issues the verdict. The sound of the gavel cracking against the wooden desk gives me a thrill that will leave me on a high for the rest of the day. My client has been fighting for a divorce for nearly a year. I thought the damn thing would never end, but my luck's changed. We call her now ex-husband with his pants down, literally. He was probably with Nina. Miss Taylor, did they tell you that... Oh, hi, Jody. Did they tell you that Ori is Nina? She forgets to tell people sometimes. She's the little pest that I have to bug you guys. So. And so, yeah, that was probably Nina down with the ex-husband here. She's a little hoe like that. You just you just deal with her. Just ignore her. I watch as she gathers her two daughters and hugs them close. For years, she'd been subject to his mental torture, and when his eldest daughter tried to commit suicide, she knew it was time to get out. And I got to be the sadistic motherfucker to hammer his sorry ass to the floor. There's something about seeing a man crumble beneath the weight of the law that makes me feel alive. It's like watching filth wash down the gutter after a hard rain. I hate men like the ones I take to court. They remind me of him. I knew that would get Nancy going. The man who destroyed everything in his path until it finally destroyed him. My father. Nina may not be. She's listening on her headset, but she may not be close enough to the phone or her computer, whatever she's listening to on tonight. She has a little one that she has to deal with. So sometimes she's off doing motherly stuff while she's listening. The sound of traffic on the street takes me from the memory I've spent years trying to bury in the recesses of my mind. It does me no good to hold on to the past, even though some would tell you I carry the weight of it with me daily. The only positive thing that came out of my childhood was the money, and even it carries a black mark that leaves my mouth sour with revulsion when I think about it. When we buried my parents 20 years ago, we feared our family, what was left of it, would be split up. Miraculously, my dad's sister stepped in. Until that moment, we'd known very little about her, as she'd been estranged from our father. Me, Gage, and Rowan were apprehensive about living with her, but we came to realize pretty quickly she wasn't like her dad. From that day forward, she raised the three of us like her own. Well, mostly just me and Rowan. Gage was 17 at the time and somehow got into college, despite our family troubles. He stayed local, afraid to leave me and Roland after everything we'd been through. It shocks me how well he did in school, despite the role he had in ending the reign of the man who sired us. Gage is now a successful orthopedic surgeon here in Atlanta. Oh, thank you. I was wondering where these were at. I live 2 hours outside, just north of Atlanta, so I got the right voice going on, the right accent going on. His skills are sought after all over the country. Do you know where Ringgold is? Exit 348 on 75. That's where I'm at. Let's see. It doesn't matter though. We all decided not long after our parents' death to avoid relationships outside the one we have with each other. Love isn't worth the trouble. Yes, I'm 20 minutes south of Chattanooga. The mentality earned us the reputation of being casual kings with women, and we don't care. No attachments mean no heartache. My phone vibrates inside my pocket as I take my car door open. Roland's face flashes across the screen, making me smile. Roland! I close myself inside my car and press the start button. The phone switches over to Bluetooth, allowing me to toss the phone in my seat. Where are you? I thought you had a show tonight. I do. I'm headed there now. His raspy voice makes me smile. Roland found his love for music at an early age. I suspect it was from all the times I turned it on to drown out the yelling, but it inevitably led to him breaking the top 100 Billboard list. At 24, Roland has amassed his own wealth. He's the lead singer for Savage Realm. His music floats somewhere between pop and rock. Sorry, I went with country tonight. I never know. Yeah, Jody's now from Georgia. She's a Georgia girl too. Whoop whoop. His look, however, screams something else entirely. Roland refuses to conform to the typical musician look. With his dirty blonde hair and glasses, he doesn't look like a rock star. Instead, he resembles someone you'd found at a poetry slam on a Wednesday night. What's up? Everything okay? I asked, confused but happy to hear his voice. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you I'll be in town in 2 days. We added a concert in Atlanta and I wanted to see you guys. What's the chance you'll come to my show? He knows Gage and I hate the music scene. But he's my baby brother and I'd die for him. So going to his show isn't a hardship. We'll be there. Call my office and give my secretary the details. I'll call Gage and let him know. Great. Look, we're about to start setup. I'll call your office tomorrow. Love you, bro. Love you too, Roland. Be safe and knock 'em dead. I pressed the button on my steering wheel and speak Gage's name into the car. Court ended earlier than expected, and glancing at the clock, I suspect Gage is between surgeries. I take it court went well? Gage's voice filters through the line. Yep. That motherfucker had no leg to stand on when we showed the judge the photos of him buried balls deep in his mistress. His days of playing mental warfare on his wife and kids are over. He'll have supervised visitation for the next year. You really are a dick. Gage laughs heartily through the phone. It pays the bills, being a dick, that is. What's up? You looked out and caught me in between surgery. But Gage gets quiet for a moment, and the sound of him shuffling something in the background echoes in my ear. I have to head up to talk with the parents. Roland is in town in 2 days. We're going to see him. Clear your schedule. At least it's a Saturday. I was supposed to be on call in ER, but I'll swap with Peterson. Good. I'll call you tonight with the details. Go break a leg. I smile as he chuffs another laugh into the phone. Fuck you, Drake. Ooh. I like the sound of that. Make sure you message me and remind me, somebody. You know me, I'll forget by tomorrow. The line goes dead, leaving me with an impish grin that covers my face. I navigate my Dodge Challenger Hellcat through the busy Atlanta streets and pull into the parking garage beneath my building. I didn't want the drama of renting a space from someone, so I used the blood money left behind by my dad and bought my own. The top 2 floors are converted into living space, and the remaining 20 are for businesses. My firm takes up floors 12 through 16. I lease the remaining 15 to various organizations that help women and survivors of domestic violence. A family counseling center, relocation services, employment help, temporary housing, private security, and investigations. And my legal team make up the corporation I call Angel's Wings, a corporation started in honor of my mother. The attorney portion of the corporation is headed by me, along with 3 other attorneys who work for me: a criminal defense attorney, real estate attorney, and entertainment attorney. While I could practice law in all 4 areas, I focus on saving those who can't save themselves. Max, I tip my head at my head of security, who's watching me as I enter. Anything I need to know about? No, sir. All's been quiet. He grins. Just the way I like it. Perfect. You know where to find me if anything changes. I press the button for the elevator and wait. My mind drifts back to the woman's expression when she heard the judge announce his decision. It was mixed with relief and sadness, but beneath it all, I saw hope. Something my mother never got. The ping of the elevator's arrival snaps me from my thoughts. I step inside, leaning against the metal wall. I press the illuminated digit for my firm. The day is young, which means more work is waiting for me. Glancing at my watch, I sigh, seeing it's nearing 3 o'clock. It's a Thursday, and like most weekdays, I won't go upstairs until well after 9 has fallen. Work is all that matters outside my brothers and aunt. Sure, I take care of my carnal needs, but that's just sex. Finding a woman to satisfy those needs takes little effort at the club. Plus, I have a cat whenever I need her. The metal doors open to a silent floor, allowing me to step out unnoticed. Carly, my receptionist, purses her lips as I approach the front desk. Mr. Winston. She grinds her teeth together and she blows out a frustrated breath. Mrs. Davison is waiting in your office. Carly despises Mrs. Davison. While most of my cases involve domestic violence, I occasionally take on a rich wife who finds her husband's boredom has led his dick into their nanny. His Mrs. Mrs. Davison is one of those women, and she is what Carly calls high maintenance. Was she on my calendar? I cock an eyebrow, knowing the answer is no. I know my schedule like the back of my hand. No, she wasn't. And when I mentioned that tidbit to that wretched woman, she stomped her foot like a 12-year-old child. She was making a scene, so I sent her in there to wait on you. I roll my eyes in response and grunt. Great, great. Look, I start past her, but pause. Roland will call in the next day with details on his visit. Block out my calendar this weekend and get the details for me if I'm not available to chat with him. Of course. She waves her hand through the air, ushering me towards my office. Have fun. I'm pretty sure her breasts are going to pop out of that thing she's calling a dress. I think she's trying to find her next husband. Carly smirks as I shoot her the bird in response. Carly has worked for me since opening day, and she's more like a distant cousin than an employee. Not happening. I pause outside the door and take a deep breath. My mood has been on a high, but something tells me Mrs. Davison is about to send it into a nosedive. I push inside and force a fake grin at the plastic woman sitting in the chair across from my desk. Carly was accurate in saying she was close to popping out of her outfit. The red bodycon dress is obviously 2 sizes too small and does little to cover her up. Mrs. Davison, did we have an appointment I forgot about? Hello, Mr. Winston. She purrs, leaning closer to the edge of my desk, causing her boobs to rest against the wood top. No, we didn't. But I wanted to come by and see you. For what? I don't have any new information, and my PI hasn't found anything yet. She cocks her head and grins. Let's not pretend. She stands and presses her hands into the top of my desk. I am tired of being lonely, and you're a single guy. Yes, Miss Vanessa, there is music. Really? Distracting? Most people like it. Oh, my baby. Plug his ears when I say bad stuff. Look at him all sweet. Uh, Under my breath, I murmur, and even I have standards. Matching the plastic stiffness of her grin, I reply out loud. What does that have to do with your case, Mrs. Davis? She shrugs her shoulders shamelessly, obviously intending to squish her breasts together in a way that almost spills them out of the out of that pathetic excuse for clothing. Nothing. Then you should go. I'm not interested in your games, nor will I cross that line with a client. If you're needing someone to fuck, she gasped at my callous words, then go out and find a dick willing. Because this, I wave my hands between us, will never happen. I don't sleep with clients. face morphs into a mask of rage. She stands straight, pushing both her breast and chin out as she speaks. I see. I'm sorry to have disturbed you, Mr. Winston. See yourself out. When I have information, I'll call you. Don't show up here unannounced again, or I'll find you a new lawyer. She nods her head as she leaves my office. I enjoy a good bug, but sleeping with clients is not something I do. I have very specific ways to let my inner demons out, and a client isn't it. I never cross that line. Not now, not ever. I don't know. I have yet to find anything that messes up YouTube, except the weather and the trolls. Chapter 2, Drake. The rhythmic sound of bass shakes the walls of the room. Deep burgundy of the walls surrounding me holds a seductive glow from the dimmed lights overhead. My eyes scan the room of guests as I sip the amber liquid from my glass. It's been weeks since I've stepped inside these walls, but after Mrs. Davidson threw herself at me, I was reminded how long it's been since I've had a sexual encounter. And I realized this was long overdue. I've sworn off relationships, but not fucking. I'm too damaged for a serious relationship. The chances of becoming like my father are too high, and I won't do that to a woman. Not after watching the life drain from my mother's eyes. She died long before the monster whose blood runs through my veins killed her. This is the only way I feel safe, feel in control. It's the only way I can keep the monster buried deep, only letting him out to play when I allow it. No woman would want me if she knew the depravity I need to stay in control. I down the remaining contents of my glass and set it aside. The person I've been waiting for has finally arrived. I know it's hard to spot the mask covering her face. Her fiery red hair stands out among the others. She's the only woman who can handle what I dish out. I'm certain her demons rival mine, but we've never spoken about the outside world. I'm not even sure the name she's. Come on, Kendall. She's given me is her real one. That won't stop me from taking her to a private room. You're here. Her blood red nails trail down the white button-up shirt I have on, eliciting goosebumps to erupt across my skin. I grab her wrist, halting her wandering fingers, and pull her flesh against me. I've been busy. She smiled at my words, her lip catches between her teeth, as she looks up and flutters her eyelashes at me. Are you ready to obey me, pet? She hisses, her core grinding against my knee. I can feel the heat of her pussy through my slacks, making my cock jump in anticipation. Yes, sir. I drop her arm and start toward the hallway that leads to the playrooms. I don't need to tell her to follow me. She already knows the rules. The minute we step into our roles, I become her master. Anything I demand, she complies and does. It's what I need, what I crave. I step into the room and close the door behind us. Kneel. I step around her, slowly undoing the buttons of my shirt. What shall we do tonight? I speak out loud, mostly to myself. She doesn't get a say in what I choose. The only power she has is her safe word, which she rarely uses. Cat, the name I call her by, enjoys the pain as much as I get off on providing it for her. The first night I met her, I nearly came in my boxers just watching her orgasm from the twisted way I touched her. My fingers search the drawers until they find what I want. Each of the private rooms is stocked with all the toys one might need in a private session. Besides the tool at my disposal, A massive bed and a St. Andrew's cross fill the room. Stand up, I bark at her. Cat complies immediately, moving from her knees to her feet instantly. Strip, I need you completely naked. I watch as she peels the corset off her body. She reaches for the thigh highs to remove them, but I stop her. Leave them on and get on the bed. Cat scrambles to the center of the bed and waits for my order. I walk to the edge and run my hand down the side of her face. My fingers trace her collarbone, pausing at her full breast. Cat has large boobs, which are definitely fake. It's a turn off for me, but the rest of what she offers makes up for it. I circle her erect nipple with the pad of my thumb before pinching it between my fingers. Her eyes close in response to the painful stimulation the pressure I'm applying gives her. She learned a long time ago making any kind of unsolicited noise results in punishment. Sometimes she defies me just to earn a paddle across her ass, but not tonight. Tonight she needs exactly what I came to give her. Take my cock out, I order her, needing some of my pain ease while I continue to play. Cat keeps her eyes down as she flicks the button to my jeans open and pushes them down past my hips. Just remember, you're not allowed to come, I murmur, my tone edged with hate. The innate desire to torment her, making my cock harden with delight. Grab my dick and jack me off, I bark out. My desire is uncontrollable, almost feral. Cat wraps her palm around my shaft and pauses. May I get you wet, sir? Her voice is breathy as she continues to put on the show. She knows it's the only way to push me anywhere near the release I so desperately need. Yes, I hiss as her head bows and her lips encase my tip. My balls throb with pleasure as she bobs against my shaft. My fingers wind into her hair. I shove her down on my steel rod, making her take me all the way to the back of her throat. I push without regard for her well-being until she's gagging with my crown hits the back. I hold her there ruthlessly as I feel her struggle, chuckling with delight. That's it. Fuck my dick with your throat, little whore. The tingling in my spine tells me I'm about to come. I yank against the tresses of her hair, jerking her off my cock. I'm not ready to spill my load just yet, and I didn't plan to do it this way tonight. I tug her hair, using it to guide her to the bench that sits at the foot of the bed. Pushing her forward, I bend her over the edge, which puts her ass on perfect display. Don't move. I slap my palm across her flesh, leaving a perfect imprint of my hand. Once more, I return to the dresser and pull out another toy. This one benefits us both when I stick my cock inside her. Cat stays perfectly still as I move around the room and position myself behind her again once more. She hisses at the sensation of cool liquid dripping along her crevice as I coat her backside in lube. Once I have her sufficiently coated in the slit gel, I squeeze the globes of her ass. Without bothering to ask for her permission, I press the butt plug into her ass and pop her hard. She cries out and tenses, the apology spilling out of her mouth, just like I've programmed her to do. I'm sorry, sir. It's all right, pet. Your scream makes my dick harder. I smooth my hand across her flesh and pop her again. My cock needs to be buried inside your top cunt. Cat whimpers her reply, no doubt anticipating what she knows is coming next. I grab the condom I laid on the bed earlier and sheathe myself in the barrier. I've never fucked a woman without protection, and I don't plan to. Knocking someone up is my idea of a death sentence. Kids are something I never want, especially not with some faceless receptacle who is here only for my pleasure. I wouldn't bring a child into the world knowing I could turn out like my father. Lost in the memory of my past, I round myself into her waiting center. Cat cries out with the force of my thrust, her body jolting forward and nearly toppling off the bench. My hand shoots out, steadying her in place as I pump my hips into her, the bench underneath her scraping against the floor. My thumb presses into the plastic adorning her tight ring as my cock pushes in and out of her dripping center. Cat moans, unable to bite back the sound escaping her lips. I slap her ass cheek with each escape sound as I continue to drive into her. The sensation of the butt plug pressing against my shaft is pure bliss. But I need more. I need to dominate her, to own her. My cock springs free and I pull out and grab her off the bench. I shove her against the St. Andrew's cross and press her palms against the wooden arms, latching her wrist in the leather cuffs. I reach between us, fisting my shaft as I kick her feet apart. This is the side of me I could never show to someone outside of these walls. This is the part of me I blame on my father. The torment and depravity I need to inflict on someone makes me a monster. Sex is the only way I can control the need to dominate women. My fingers wrap around her neck, squeezing into her flesh as I bark my orders at her. Wrap your ankles behind me. Cat locks her ankles behind me, suspending her body from the floor. Her moans fill the room as I drive myself inside her, fucking her without regard for the stress this position puts on her arms that are hanging off the cross. The friction sends sparks of fire through my veins, making me increase my punishment to her pussy. My balls smack against her as I drive into her, demanding the screams she's belting into the room. I want them, need them, knowing it will push me to the release that's close to the edge. Already, Cat cries out as her walls tighten around my shaft and pulse. Fire starts at the base of my spine and burns a trail of hot molten lava straight to my shaft. I groan as the warm liquid spurts out of my shaft, filling the condom inside her. Cat's legs drop to the floor as I yank free of her body. I release her hands, still pinned against the wooden cross, holding her upright. Undoing the buckles, Cat drops to the floor. I take several deep breaths to center myself before barking my next command at her. Clean me off. I watch as Cat turns toward me and rolls the used condom from my shaft. She ties it off and tosses it into a nearby trash can before taking her place before me. Holding my gaze, she leans forward and licks the remnants of our coupling from my dick. As she hollows out her cheeks around my length, and I feel myself start to harden again. I reach down and press the heel of my hand against her forehead with a shake of my head, knowing she's trying to stretch this out. Her shoulders immediately deflate as she sits back on her heels, adjusting the mask still clinging to her face with a pouty frown on her lips, the only thing I allow to be exposed. Turning away, I shake my head as I mutter, I'm going to get cleaned up. See yourself out. I stalk from the bed and walk into the attached private bathroom. Cat knows the rules. When I'm done, she needs to disappear before I emerge from the shower. This is only sex, and any lingering on her part means we'd never meet up again. No attachments are allowed. And even though she and I hook up often, it's nothing more than a Dom and his sub. If she gets any other ideas in her head, I replace her fast. Just as I expect, Cat is gone when I finally emerged from the shower. She tidied up the room and laid my clothing on the bed. After pulling on my clothes, I tug my phone from my pants pocket. I find the person I want in my contacts and press the phone to my ear. What's up? His gruff voice fills the line. Meet me at my house for a drink. I smile, knowing he won't refuse. Fine, I'm just getting off, so give me a few to change my clothes. I'm just leaving the club anyway. I'll meet you at my place. The club, huh? Find anyone worthwhile? Much like like me, my brothers have fallen into the lifestyle as well. It's a safe release for the polluted blood our dad graced us with. We find being a dominant gives us the control we need without actually hurting anyone. The thought of losing control, like we witnessed so many times as a kid, scares the shit out of us. Being a dom in the club keeps us sane and women safe. We agreed years ago to steer clear of long term commitments, not knowing what our future would be. It's our way of protecting innocent women. That and the careers have we each have chosen as adults. Navigating my car onto the road, I inhale a deep breath and sigh. I long for a normal life, but it's just a fantasy I know I'll never have. I'm better off alone, even if I am lonely. Monsters belong in the dark. All right, bitches. What y'all thinking? So that gets you the prologue and the first two chapters. Or you just need a ball gag. Jody's liking it. Oh, I'm sure you need more, sister. Thank you, Elsie. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me read it. I greatly appreciate it. It's really good. Thank you, Vanessa. I'm reading some of the comments up through here. Woohoo! Oh no, I've tested their filters. This is now see, Facebook shuts me down. That's where I started. I used to do this. I used to have my phone tuned to um, TikTok, buddy. They shut me down in a heartbeat on most once. I just read what the girls find. I mean, if I'm looking and I see something I want to read, we got a list that we choose from, and they try to get the author. But yeah, TikTok hates me. It won't let me. Facebook, I'm all but banned from there. I mean, I get on it every now and then, but one more time and they're going to kick me out. And I can say happy birthday with a teddy bear and a heart, and they would kick me out. So YouTube's one of the only places I can find. Facebook too would fade in and out. It was not a reliable place. For the most part, YouTube is reliable. Sometimes I might have to take one or two takes to get started, but you know, YouTube has been my best. And feel free to go back through and look at any of the videos that I've got already out there. Everything's free for anybody who wants to look at them, listen to them. That's what they're there for. So, 17, all right. You ain't getting more. Oh yes, Lex, I did. What last week before last, something like that. Yeah, yeah, I read her stuff. Ooh, we might have to get one of them books together then and read it. All right, Ori, Vinci, you guys see that? Dodi. All righty, I'm gonna get out from here. I've had a full day. I'm tired. I need to go keep Big Daddy company for a little bit before I go to bed. A firefighter series. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year. Be safe. Be responsible. Don't do anything stupid like go to jail. That's not a good thing. Or the hospital. Stay out of the hospital. Stay out of jail. But have fun if you're able to. All right. Y'all have a good one. And I'll talk to you next year. Happy reading.